I don't know if it's like it was bucket list, but certainly one of the things for me that I will just always treasure, just to be a part of something that had such importance.
And now it'll be our obituary headline. So there's that.
Hopefully not for a while, but yes.
Gary is now a part of the family in this movie, so what's the dynamic like for him in this Ghostbusters family?
Well, I think he's kind of desperate to be a part of this family and is accepted by everyone, but it's a little, there's a bit of a gray area because I'm not a husband, I'm not a father technically, so I think my character Gary is trying to figure out where and how he really does fit in, and that kind of challenge is his main storyline, really.
And Callie is embracing the family biz by putting on and firing the proton pack.
Yeah.
So tell me about getting your ghost busting just right for this movie. What was the experience like?
Well, it is really, I have to say, just putting on the jumpsuit and the boots and strapping on a proton pack goes a long way to get you there, because it's such an iconic moment, and you just have to embrace it. There's a scene in the movie where I got to like blast through a window. It didn't make it into the film, but the fact that I got to do it is very meaningful to me. And you know, just like watching the OGs walk in, you just kind of have to kind of fake it till you make it, you know, and see if you help you fit in.
Trevor is his own man now. He's 18 years old in the film. What is the dynamic like for him in this Ghostbusters family?
I think he's like sort of still trying to like find his place in the family. I think he like doesn't really know, like, obviously he's like busting ghosts with everyone, but I think he's like not like officially sort of taken seriously as like kind of like, obviously he still goes out and stuff, but I don't think he's taken as seriously as he wants to be taken, it seems.
And McKenna, Phoebe is so capable, and we saw it in Ghostbusters Afterlife, and we're seeing it now. What did you love the most about her journey in this film?
I think that it was interesting to have Phoebe have to figure, of course we're still ghost busting, but having that taken away from her and having, because I feel like that's kind of her thing, that's her identity, and so it was fun getting to play her trying to figure out who she is outside of ghost busting and figuring out everything, you know, family.
Yeah.
I just got fired, I have no friends. Like, it was a lot for her to figure out.
Fired at
so
that age.
I can't believe that y'all, like, I got fired.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, so it was very fun to be able to have Phoebe kind of go off and do all sorts of things.
Paul, this film is a family affair with the OG Ghostbusters and the new Ghostbusters in New York City. It's also a film that pays homage to Ivan Reitman. So what was the vibe like on set while filming this movie?
Well, I think, you know, the kind of the role that this franchise and Ghostbusters has played in pop culture for the last few
40
decades.
years.
It was apparent. You do feel it. There's no way you can stand around with Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray and Ernie and Annie and like in those suits in the firehouse with that car and not feel kind of the history of and the legacy of what these films have been for a lot of people. In regards to Ivan Reitman, we certainly felt his presence and his spirit because, you know, this is the first time a Ghostbusters film had been done and he wasn't around to see it, and it's his, you know, he directed the very first one. It is the family business. And so with Jason, his son, who directed Afterlife and now wrote and produced this one, sitting there, it was like the importance and weight of that was apparent every day, and I think everyone wanted to do a good job to honor his legacy in particular.
What was your favorite part about creating this Ghostbusters movie?
There's so many things I could point to. I could point to building the firehouse and getting to make that a character in this story. I could talk about bringing together so many generations of Ghostbusters and allowing them to stand shoulder to shoulder to take on the impossible and facing down with Garaka, our villain. I could talk about creating the new mythology for that character and the brass orb that suggests a link to an ancient supernatural past. All of those things and more are part of what makes telling a Ghostbusters story at this scale so thrilling.
And Finn, we see so many new ghosts in this movie,
Yeah.
but you get up close and personal with the classic Slimer. So what was it like to get slimed on set, and what did it taste like?
Good question, actually. It was he flies through me, and like the slime goes like out the front of me and then at the back, and like it was cool because like there was like a rig under my shirt that like basically like was built to like shoot slime like at the back or the front and the back, and so like I had like a little clicker, like a little remote that would like basically activate it, and they would like cue it. So it was like really fun. It was like, you know, in movies like they do this like squib stuff where it's like you get like shot, and it was like that but with slime, which was really funny. And weirdly, the slime, it was like it was just like water. Like it tasted like water. It was like almost like thick water or something. It was kind of like a minty thing going on. It really wasn't as bad. Like I've had like fake blood in my mouth, and that is like so much worse. It's so gross. The like sugary, gross. Yeah. So I was pretty lucky.
You're no stranger to the slime and gruesome stuff like that with
there's
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what film set did you like more?
That's really. I mean, I've been on the Stranger Things set like for so long, so I'm very like comfortable. Yeah, like who do you like more? Do you like?
Who's your favorite?
Yeah, like me or Millie.
Yeah. Who do you like more? Like me or Gaten?
Yeah, me or Gaten. Yeah. I would say you, just cause like you know you're just sitting right there.
No, it's just because I am.
Yeah, no, you're sitting right there. So, no, I there's something to be said also just about like being a part of like the legacy of Ghostbusters that like is so special. So they share like weirdly a lot of like just similarities because they're just like very big things in the zeitgeist, and so like you feel, you know, indebted to them in some way. But yeah, I mean, I think that they're both really, like, obviously fun in different ways. Obviously, like, I know a lot of people would want me to pick one just because it's juicy, but they're both really fun.
The OG Ghostbusters are heavily featured in this movie. So what was it like to include them and bring them in such a substantial way?
Well, it just felt like an opportunity that I couldn't pass up. I mean, these are legends. These are characters that changed my life as a young film lover. And we saw as they stood shoulder to shoulder in that field in Oklahoma that they still got what it takes to strap on the proton pack and face off with the worst the supernatural world has to offer up. And so in some ways, it's the return to New York City that offered up the opportunity for the original Ghostbusters to be featured more prominently in this. But in another way, and maybe the more vital way, it's the scale of our threat that necessitated it. This is a villain more dangerous, more lethal, more sinister, and harder to trap than any that a Ghostbusters story has ever offered up. And it took more than just one team, one generation of Ghostbusters to go up against it. And so there was an opportunity and in fact, a need for every able-bodied Ghostbuster to strap on a pack.
Would you say Ghostbusters was one of your bucket list jobs, gigs to have?
Oh, it's not something I ever imagined I'd get to do. It's always been in the world since I've been in the world.
Yeah, I don't think it was something that either of us
thought would ever come
be
back.
Possible, even that it was an option. As far as so I don't know if it's like it was bucket list, but certainly one of the things for me that I will just always treasure, just to be a part of something that had such importance.
And now it'll be our obituary headline. So there's that.
Hopefully not for a while, but yes.
Hopefully not for a while.
Yes. I saw a photo of you as a little girl by one of the Ghostbusters cars.
Yeah.
So talk to me about this journey to you becoming an actual Ghostbuster.
Yeah, no, it's very weird. It's very surreal. I was such a big fan. Growing up, every time I'd go to the Sony lot for an audition or something, they have the car on the lot, and I'd always take a picture with it. So I have all these pictures of me growing up through the years with the Ghostbusters car way before there was even whispers of auditioning for this. I was such a big fan growing up. My mom used to sew me like Ghostbusters dresses out of t-shirts that had Ghostbusters on it. It was, you know, a very big part of my childhood.
Yeah.
It was one of my many obsessions growing up. So I was honored just to be auditioning. So it's very
Yes.
weird to be here now promoting the second film.
It was a dream come true.
Yeah, it truly is. It truly is. It was very weird at the premiere last night. I was like, I can't believe this is real.
Yeah, like being on the red carpet with
Yeah.
like Dan and Ernie and Annie and Bill. You know, it was really crazy.
It was so bad. I walked over to Jason whenever he got to the carpet. I was like, Jason, I love you so much. Like, you really changed my life.
Like the video? Then hit the button, or better yet, drop us a comment. Then check out our latest videos here. And don't forget to subscribe by hitting the button here for more celebrity interviews and entertainment news.